Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. This is a translation of Imam Sahib's dars given in the month of Ramadan. Allahumma salli ala Muhammadin wa ala ali Muhammadin kama sallaita ala Ibrahim wa ala ali Ibrahim innaka Hamidum Majid. Allahumma barik ala Muhammadin wa ala ali Muhammadin kama barakta ala Ibrahim wa ala ali Ibrahim innaka Hamidum Majid. Imam Sahib says that our beloved Lord and Master, the Holy Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam's blessed manner was this, that whenever he saw the need, he would give different companions different advice which would be in accordance with their need and which would be the need of the time. So whatever he thought appropriate, he would give them the relevant guidance. In yesterday's dars, we mentioned that a companion, Hazrat Abu Darda Rizwan, who mentioned that he was once told by the Holy Prophet ﷺ to perform three acts, one of which was that he should fast for 3 days every month. Today Imam Sahib is going to present another tradition in which it's the similar topic, but it's in a slightly different manner, and this one has been reported by Hazrat Abu Zar Radhiyallahu, who is another companion. And in this tradition, Hazrat Abu Zar Radhiyallahu anhu said that the Holy Prophet ﷺ once directly gave me this instruction, that إِذَا سُمْتَ مِنَ الشَّهْرِ ثَلَاثًا, that when you intend to keep 3 fasts every month, then you should fast on the 13th and the 14th and the 15th of a month on these dates. So, but it should be remembered that this refers to the lunar calendar, not to the solar calendar. So these dates are the dates of the moon according to the Islamic calendar. So in this regard, the Holy Prophet ﷺ's statement would be that if you wish to fast for 3 days, then the 3 days that you choose should be the 13th of the moon, the 14th of the moon, and the 15th. And these 3 nights are also known as Ayyam-e-Beez, which means those days which are brightly lit, and that means that the moon is at its fullest, and it spreads light in the darkness of the night. So these are the 3 days of brightness when the guidance and light is spread. So these are the 3 days on which he was instructed to fast, and if these 3 days, if one fasts every month for 3 days, then it would become 36 over the entire year. And if you multiply that by 10, because each good deed is rewarded tenfold, then that would be fasting. It would be equivalent to fasting for almost an entire year. The other thing that Imam Sahib wants to present is that if we reflect on the Holy Prophet ﷺ's family life, we see many aspects of guidance for us, and we also learn what the standards of their sacrifice was, and how poor they were, and still they offered sacrifices. So one such example will be presented today in the second tradition. So in this tradition, Hazrat Imam Malik, who is a very famous Imam of traditions of Hadith, and he wrote Muwatta Imam Malik. We use the word Rahmullah alayh for him because he wasn't a companion. That means mercy on his soul. He heard from Hazrat Aisha Anha that once a poor destitute lady came to her home, at her door, and she asked for something to eat, and the tradition, Imam Sahib is saying that he's going to recall it briefly. Or so the day that she asked, on that day Hazrat Aisha Anha only had one piece of bread and nothing else. Hazrat Aisha Anha told her maidservant to give that piece of bread to that poor lady. So, and Hazrat Aisha Anha was fasting on that day. So imagine that she was fasting and she had only one piece of bread, and still she told her maidservant to give that to the poor lady. The maidservant said that there is nothing else for you. There is no other food available in the home. So this was the state of affairs at the time. So she asked, how would Aisha Zanha open her fast, as there was nothing else to eat? So Hazrat Aisha Siddiqa Anha said to that maidservant that give that piece of bread to that poor lady. You must give it to her. So she emphasized that she must give it. The maidservant said, Imam Sahib said that the rest of this is extremely important to listen to and to understand. The maidservant said that she gave that to the poor lady. So the only bread that they had, the only piece of food that they had, they gave to the poor lady, and she didn't even have anything to open her fast with. And then it continues in this tradition. So Hazrat Imam Malik says this from reporting from Hazrat Aisha Anha. So when the evening came, some relative or some other person who knew Hazrat Aisha Anha, she sent a roasted shoulder of lamb to Hazrat Aisha Anha. Hazrat Aisha Anha called that maidservant and told her to come and eat some of it, and she said that this is much better than the piece of bread that you wanted to keep, because you thought that would be useful for my opening my fast. But you should see what Allah's blessings how Allah's blessings have displayed themselves, that He has given us something far better than the piece of bread that you wanted to save. So this gives us a glance into the blessed family life of the Holy Prophet ﷺ, and this manner that the Hazrat Aisha Anha adopted was because he learned from the Holy Prophet ﷺ. She learned from the Holy Prophet ﷺ, and remaining beneath his shade. So whatever she had, she gave it, and she had complete trust in Allah. And although it's only a brief tradition, but it teaches us many different aspects of advice for us, that if for the sake of Allah we give up our own need and we offer our sacrifice, then Allah does not keep alone. Allah returns it in a much better way. Allahumma salli ala Muhammadin wa ala ali Muhammadin wa barik wa sallam innaka Hamidum Majid.